aka Ruthless Rufus. I am here with the Ultimate Racing League for round 2 of the Sunday Championship. Now, as you can see, we are at Big Willow Springs International Raceway in the USA. It is a real world circuit. Yep, that is live. It is working properly. It is live. The circuit length is 2.46 miles long and it has 9 turns. And it is a mid-speed track. Now, obviously, so I thought as we were here, we are as well. The nickname that I have for it is the Land of Sand, because obviously there's literally sand everywhere. Literally, you go off and you hit the sand. There is no really runoff areas, so this track is a very tricky track. But let's go and do a quick tour of the track. Okay, so your first corner, you can stay sort of in third for this one. Third or fourth. Ideally, stay in fourth for this one. Try to not go out too wide. Then probably come up to, this is the trickiest part of the track. Bring the left and the right. Then bringing it down the hill to this left-hander. And then this bit of a straight, not really a straight, but you don't really need to brake. And now you're coming up to the final bend before the final corner, which comes up pretty quickly after this. Just slowing down enough just to get around the corner. And just down on the last start-finish straight. And roughly looking at a lap time of 1:12 or a little bit more, between 1:12 and 1:14 per lap. But that's if you can do that. Anyway, so we are obviously with the League 1 guys for round 2. And obviously we have got 2 races for you. One race is a sprint and you're literally just going to be in softs the whole race. And obviously race 2 will be softs and mediums with a mandatory pit stop. Now obviously there was 10-minute qualifying. And hello to the people who are watching. Let's take a look through the grid to see where everyone got placed. So Hoggy got pole, Brian Mechanic got second, Seamus got third, Nigel got fourth, Graham Ali got fifth, Sideways got sixth, P. White got seventh, Slowpoke got eighth, Bloomfield got ninth, Chuck got 10th, Rossi 11th, Brownie 12th, Hodgie 13th, Rufus aka myself 14th, and Stealth starts in last. So let's get this race going and see how they do in the Land of Sand. So he takes them down to the start of the race. The lights have gone out and there go. And all off down towards the first corner. Getting around this first corner without an issue. And all going well at the moment. But this is one thing with this track, once you go off, as soon as you go off, your whole race is ruined because it's very difficult to catch back up because it's such a short track. But everyone is streaming through. Oh, Chuck's already had an issue and gone off. What's happened to Chuck? Coming around turn two. Oh, hit two. Oh, literally, that's how easy it is to go off in this on this track. Literally, touch the sand just a little bit, and it's batting back out and well behind. So now Chuck's got all the work to do now to catch back up. Currently, Hoggy does still have the lead, and he's got Bry chasing him there in second, with Niggle there in third, James there in fourth, Graham there in fifth, Sideways there in sixth, P. White there in seventh, Slowpoke there in eighth, Bloomfield ninth, Rossi 10th, Brownie 11th, Hodgie there is in 12th, but he's got Stealth, and Stealth's got past Rufus now. Rufus was ahead of Stealth, but now you've got all these three chasing each other. Looks like Rufus is trying to go up the inside of Stealth, and he does, he pulls it off, so that's Rufus has got up. Oh, and Stealth has gone off. Let's see, was there any contact here? Let's just have a look. No contact, the Stealth went out a little bit too wide. But I think Rufus stopped because he felt like that was his fault. He possibly could have carried on going, but just for sportsmanship he stopped to wait for Stealth, just because obviously he did push him out a little bit too wide, so maybe that was Rufus's fault there. So he's waited for Stealth, and they're both on the way again, but that's allowed Chuck to catch up to the back of him now. So now Chuck's gonna have to, he's got the opportunity to get a couple of positions here. It's only lap 2. We have got obviously 21 laps here to do as well. So he has pulled a little bit of a gap over Niggle. Not too much of a gap, but there is a little bit of a gap. But they are really pulling away from Graham there now in third. And Sideways is just behind, not too far behind him, about a second behind, probably about a second or just under. And the same for PY. And then you got Bloomfield there in 6th, who's dropped off a little bit, and he's got Slowpoke right behind him, looking to try and get past. Let's go on board with Slowpoke. See, Slowpoke's on the inside here of Bloomfield. Can he pull this pass off, or is Bloomfield going to be to stay ahead? If it is managing to stay ahead at the moment. Hodgie is literally just there, just down there behind him. Went out a little bit wide there. Let's go back to the hours. So Bridal Mechanic is there in 8th. I missed that one. Bridal Mechanic must have come off somewhere. Hodgie there in 9th. He's got Brownie catching him, and Brownie's got Seamus right over the back of him, looking to try and get that 10th place off of him. Seamus is there at 11th. Rossi's just behind him in 12th. And then the Stealth's there in 13th. Rufus is just behind Stealth. Stealth went out a little bit wide there. That's allowed Rufus to close that gap significantly onto Stealth now. Looks like Rufus is gonna try and go for a pass here. And this time it did work. He got past this time, and no collisions are going off. So that was a good time. But Stealth's come back at Rufus. But they are fine for that 13th position, while you got poor old Chuck there just sitting behind the the two of them trying to get past, and he's literally got nowhere to. He's not having any chance to pass these two because they're literally just in the way, fighting for their lives, trying to get past each other. It's like a three-way battle between 13th, 14th, 15th. It proves that you can have battles all over the field. You don't necessarily have to be at the front to have battles. But let's stay with Stealth for a minute and see whether Chuck can get past. Oh, it looks like Rufus nearly went out a little bit wide there. Like Stealth is trying to catch Rufus. And Chuck's still there as well, so they're having a good little battle. Looks like Chuck's going up the inside, trying to go up the inside of Stealth. And poor old Seamus, he's come off, so he's down to last now, unfortunately, so he's going to have work to do. Let's go and see how everyone else is doing. So lap 5, Hoggy still has the lead, but he's got Niggle all over his rear bumper, looking to try and get past, but they literally are flying away. Nothing like Graham in third could do anything about him. He's got Sideways all over his rear bumper as well. Let's just watch. Let's go on board with Niggle. Trying to close that gap on Hoggy at the moment. Bringing it out, closing that gap even more. Niggle can't actually see Graham behind him at the moment. So it shows how far Graham is behind in third. Hoggy's pulled away a little bit. Still can't see Graham behind him. Coming around this next corner, down to start finish straight. No mistake there from Hoggy, so Niggle won't catch him on this straight. But now you can literally just see Graham just behind, and they're battling for that third position now. Sideways has got past Graham up to third now. Graham's down to fourth, but I don't think Graham's not going to let Sideways go. But P. White is just there, just right behind him in fifth, so he's in the action there between, so it's a three-way fight for third at the moment. There's Slowpoke still there in sixth, but he was behind Bluefield, so he's got past Bloomfield now, with Bloomfield is chasing him down. And then Bryden Mechanic is there in 8th currently. He's a little bit behind, but gaining. Rossi there in 9th. He's got Brownie chasing him down. And Hodgie there in 11th. He's dropped off a little bit from Brownie now. Chuck is in 12th now, so he's got past Rufus and Stealth. Now Stealth is trying to keep Seamus behind him. And Rufus is there in 15th, so he's had an off somewhere that's put him quite a bit back, so he's got work to do. So back up to the front on lap 8. Hoggy still leads, with Niggle still chasing him down in second. This is a very quick lap, this very short track. The fastest lap time so far is a 1 minute 12.713 by Niggle. Hoggy's fastest lap is 1 minute 12.8 0.800. So there's not much time difference in their best laps. They're more or less running both at the same pace here at the moment. So that's why it's proving very difficult for Nigel to catch Hoggy. And back to these guys. We're sideways, sort of trying to get away from Graham, not having much any of it at the moment. No, Graham saying nope, you're not getting away from me, you're staying right there, staying in my sights. P White is right there as well in 5th. Also, like, while I'm doing this, I'd like to give a shout out and thank you to our sponsors for this season, Dubby and EAC Eldridge Air Conditioning. I'd also like to give a shout out to Slowpoke, because he's the one who hosts these races, and without him hosting them we wouldn't have a race. But anyway, looking at Slowpoke, he's got Bloomfield trying to get past him at the moment. They're battling out for that 6th position. Can Bluefield get past? No, he's dropped off a little bit. And looking at that tyre wear, there's most probably, usually in race 1 we don't have a pit stop, but the wear is quite bad on this track, so there will be a pit stop at some point in this race. Unfortunately, there's nothing anyone could do about it. Just a matter of, it's going to be how long can everyone make their tyres last for. You see, Bluefield is putting Slowpoke under a lot of pressure here. Bluefield's just waiting for Slowpoke to make a mistake, but he's not made a mistake so far. Wassie's there in 8th, Brownie there in 9th, Bry there in 10th, Chuck there in 11th, Seamus there in 12th, Stealth is now down in 13th, Hodgie is there in 14th now, so he's had an accident come off, and Rufus there in 15th, so he's well back. He's just changed his tyres, that's why he's so far back. But so Stealth, Hodgie and Rufus have all been in the pits to change their tyres. So now it looks like Nigel has pitted. Yep, Nigel has pitted, changed his tyres, so that's given Hoggy that breathing room, but I imagine Hoggy will most probably be pitting soon for a fresh set of softs as well. So at the moment, with Nigel going into the pits, Sideways is in 2nd, Graham's in 3rd, P White's in 4th, Nigel's there, and Nigel's there in 5th. Bloomfield's there in 6th, Rossie's there in 7th, Brownie's there in 8th, Slowpoke's there in 9th now, so he's dropped down a few positions because he's changed his tyres. Bry there in 10th. Seamus there in 11th, Chuck there in 12th. He's just pitted for his new fresh set of tyres. Brian Mechanic's now in the pits as well. Stealth is there in 13th. Hodgie is there in 14th, and Rufus is there in 15th, not catching anyone up though, but he's got 1st place coming up to try and lap him, not too far behind, maybe lapping him. Whether he can finish the race without being lapped. We will see. Rufus has just got a half-second penalty as well, so that's not going to help his cause. So Hoggy has now gone into the pits, and someone's just spun, ladies and gentlemen. Who is this? So it's Brownie has just spun. Let's just have a look to see what's happened. So it's coming up through turn 3. He's gone out a little bit too wide. Get that going. Now going around this bit, and then he's gone out well wide here. Hit the grass, and it's spun him around. That's going to push him down a few positions now. Where's this going to bring him back out? He's waiting for everyone to go past before coming back onto the obviously track. Now no one else is there, so he's trying to get going at the moment, but this is just costing him time to get going again. But he has now got going, but now he's well off from Hodgie. Rufus that's at least now that's given Rufus someone to go after and to battle with. So moment Sideways is leading, but he will most probably be pitting this lap. Niggle is in second, so he will be retaking the lead shortly. And after all them pit stops, Niggle has done a blinder, and he's been able to. He was behind Hoggy before the pit stops, and now they both pitted. He is now ahead of Hoggy, so he's played a blinder in his pit stop, managed to get himself back out, and ahead of Hoggy. So now Niggle Sideways has taken to the pit. So now Niggle has taken the lead, with Hoggy taking second place. Sideways obviously there in third. He's just on his way out now, but he will come out in fourth, just ahead of PY. Rossi is there in third at the moment, but he will be pitting soon. So Sideways there in fourth. PY there in fifth. Graham there in sixth. Slowpoke there in seventh. Bloomfield there in 8th, and then a big gap to Brian Mechanic there in 9th, and then a big gap to Chuck there in 10th, who's got Stealth chasing them down in 11th, Hodgie there in 12th, Seamus there in 13th, and now Brownie's there in 14th, and Rufus has really closed that gap on Brownie now. Is Rufus going to be able to catch Brownie up before the end of the race? We will have to see. So Rossi has now, on lap 15, taken to the pits. That's going to push him down a few spots. But it's like Niggle is starting to get away, but Hoggy has just taken the fastest lap of a 1:12.276. They are more or less running very similar times, Niggle and Hoggy are. So guys, I just had to have a breather there. So anyway, so we're at 15, like 6 laps to go. Niggle leads with Hoggy in second, Sideways in third, PY there in fourth. He's been chased by Graham there in fifth. He's just behind PY. Is Graham going to try and get past PY here? Or is he going to try? Hits a bit of a sand. And he's really closing the gap here. No, not at the moment. He's not able to. P White's managing to keep Graham behind him. Slowpoke there in 6th. He's trying to close up on this pack of 3 to make it a pack of 4. Bloomfield's there in 7th. He's trying to catch up as well to make it a pack of 5. And Rossi there after his pit stop has come out of the pits and now in 8th. Chuck is there in 9th. Delft is there in 10th. Seamus is there in 11th. Hodgie is there in 12th. Brian Mechanic there is 13th. Rufus is now got ahead. Rufus is now in 14th. He's got ahead of Brownie. Brownie's now down in 15th. Is Brownie going to be able to come back at Rufus? Or is Rufus just going to be able to just drive away and now go after Hodgie? So we are lap 16 for 5 laps to go of the land of sand. Everybody's most hated track, probably. Well, it's probably not everyone's hated track. It's just one of those tracks. If you go off, your race is basically done. And Hodgie has gone off. What's happened to Hodgie? Oh, trying to slow down and he's just gone out too wide and hit the lap. He's taken to the sand to go and build some sand castles. And he's getting back on the track and he's now pitting for a fresh set of tyres. That's going to allow Rufus to get past. Rufus is now up to 13th. Rufus is going to probably now try and go after Brian the Mechanic, which that gap is quite short between them. Whether Rufus is going to get past Brian the Mechanic is another question. Brownie is there in 14th, not too far behind. Now Hodgie is there, come out of the pits in 15th. He is now being lapped by the top 2 guys. You've got Niggle in 1st, Hodgie's 2nd, and they are going hammer and tongs here. Hoggy is really trying to get that 1st position from Niggle, putting Niggle under a hell of a lot of pressure here. This is probably the battle to watch at the moment. Let's just go on board with Hoggy for half a lap or so. He only has no one behind him, but I say he has no one behind him. Hodgie's behind him, but Hodgie is a lap down, so he doesn't need to worry about him. Hodgie's got out of this corner a lot better than Niggle has. He's now gone up to his side. He has got ahead of Niggle now, quite easy there. I think Niggle must have made a tiny mistake there. So now it's Hoggy in 1st, Niggle in 2nd, but Niggle is not letting him go. Niggle's coming back at him now. But Hoggy's doing whatever he can to keep Niggle behind him. But Hoggy's doing a good job keeping Niggle where he is. But anyway, let's go see how the other guys are doing. Sideways still has got 3rd position. But he's still got P White chasing him down with Graham there. Still chasing P White down. Bloomfield is in 6th now. He's got past Slowpoke. Slowpoke is right there behind him in 7th. They're going hammer and tongs. Slowpoke's trying to get that 6th position back from Bloomfield because he was ahead of Bloomfield. Couple of laps to go. So now he's literally trying to get that position back, but Bluefield's just driving away now. Rossi is there on his own in 8th. Chucky's all on his own in 9th. Seamus is on his own as well. Chucky's probably about 5 seconds clear of him. Or probably less than 5 seconds, to be honest. Stealth is there in 11th. Rufus is there in 12th. He's got very bad tyre wear on his left front. Is that going to last till the end of the race? Or will he have to pit? Because you're not allowed to let the tyre go fully red. So is he going to be able to make that tyre last? We do not know. But obviously he's quite far ahead of Brownie now. So now he's just got all he's got to now just try and stay ahead of the top 2 guys of first and second. They are now starting their final lap. Yep. So Hoggy and Niggle now onto their final lap. Hoggy is ahead by probably about a second or 2. Is Niggle going to be able to do anything about Hoggy here, or is Hoggy going to keep it on the track and take race 1 victory? At the moment it's looking very likely that Hoggy is going to take this victory. Sideways is there 3rd. P. White is still trying to chase him down in 4th. Graham is there 5th. Bloomfield's there 6th. Wassy there 7th. Slowpoke's dropped down to 8th. I think he's come off somewhere. He's quite far back as well. Chuck there in 9th. Seamus there in 10th. Stealth there in 11th. Rufus there in 12th. So let's just watch these guys coming through the last corner. Can they get around it without an issue? Yes, they can get around it without an issue. So Hoggy takes a race 1 victory. Niggle takes 2nd on the grid. Sideways is going to come across the line to take the 3rd podium spot. So congratulations to the top 3. P. White takes 4th. Graham takes 5th. Bloomfield takes 6th. Rossi will take 7th. Slowpoke all on his own will take 8th position. Chuck will take 9th. Probably he would have hoped that he could finish higher than that in race 1. Seamus takes 10th. Stealth will take 11th if he can get around this corner without an issue. And he can, so Stealth will take 11th. And the last person to Rufus has just gone off. A lot of damage here. What's that? Let's just have a look, see what's happened to Rufus. Oh, we got that all wrong. And just went for a little journey across the sand. Now he's got front barrier damage and engine damage. He's got low fuel and not much on his tyre wear, but he will come around. He's just coming around to the final corner now. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. This was race 1. I will bring you race 2 shortly. So I hope to see you there. Bye bye for now. I hope you enjoyed.